Are you tired of the tyranny of perfect? Discover Wabi-Sabi, the ancient Japanese secret to minimalism of acceptance. Find profound beauty in your flaws. Watch now to simplify your life. The Tyranny of Perfect. Welcome to Echoes of Life. Look around your modern world, at the polished perfection of Instagram feeds, the flawless veneer of new technology, the relentless pressure to be the best version of yourself. This is the tyranny of perfect. We are constantly striving for a fixed, ideal state, a flawless life, a spotless home, a blemish-free self. This chase for an impossible standard is the silent engine of modern anxiety and exhaustion. We demand stillness and flawlessness in a universe that is defined by movement and imperfection. When we fail to meet this manufactured ideal, and we inevitably do because perfection does not exist, we experience a profound sense of inadequacy. We throw away the things that are old, we discard the things that are broken, and we criticize the parts of ourselves that are messy or incomplete. We are fighting a desperate, expensive, and consuming battle against the natural order of things. But what if the key to genuine peace, profound fulfillment, and true aesthetic beauty lies in an utterly different approach? What if the most simple and sustainable way to live is to embrace the broken, the fleeting, and the deeply imperfect? This is the liberating philosophy of Wabi-Sabi. Originating in the Zen Buddhist traditions of Japan, Wabi-Sabi is far more than just an interior design trend. It is a way of seeing the world, a radical acceptance of the three core realities of existence: impermanence, anicca, suffering, dukkha, and non-self. Anatta, translated into a tangible, beautiful aesthetic. It is the belief that beauty resides in the subtle, the incomplete, and the marks of time. In the Western mind, minimalism often suggests sterility and pristine order. Wabi-Sabi offers a counterpoint, a minimalism of acceptance. It encourages us to declutter not just our homes, but our minds by shedding the need for control and flawlessness. Over the next few minutes, we will unpack the elements of Wabi-Sabi, from the beauty of a chipped tea bowl to the wisdom of embracing your own emotional scars. You will learn how this ancient philosophy can free you from the exhausting demands of perfection and bring you into a deeply peaceful, simple relationship with your life and your surroundings. It is time to stop trying to fix the world and start appreciating its beautiful, broken reality. Wabi-Sabi, the philosophy of broken beauty. To understand the profound depth of Wabi-Sabi, we must look at its two distinct parts. The original concepts were separate, but merged over centuries into a single, comprehensive aesthetic and philosophical principle. Wabi originally meant the loneliness or melancholy of living alone in nature, far from society. Over time, its meaning evolved to encompass an appreciation for the rustic, the humble, and the simple. Wabi is the appreciation of subtle beauty, the quiet joy found in unpolished materials, the simple functionality of a handmade object, and the deep contentment of having only what is truly necessary. It is the spiritual practice of non-attachment expressed through possessions. It requires a mind that is quiet enough to hear the subtle beauty of a single grain of wood. Sabi refers to the beauty of age and decay. It is the patina that forms on bronze, the moss growing on a stone lantern, the subtle fading of color on an antique textile. Sabi is the profound realization that objects, like life, gain character and wisdom through the passage of time. It is the acknowledgement of impermanence. In every object, a quiet understanding that everything is in a process of change and that this change is beautiful. Wabi-Sabi, combined, is the acknowledgement of Mar, three core imperfections that define reality. Impermanence, nothing lasts. Incompleteness, nothing is finished. Imperfect, nothing is perfect. This acceptance is its greatest gift. When you truly see Wabi-Sabi, you realize the perfect manufactured item is sterile and dead because it denies the truth of life. The broken, chipped, and worn object is alive because it proudly displays its journey through time. It is a humble, quiet, and profound aesthetic that demands we slow down, look closely, and celebrate the natural cycles of growth and decay. It is the true philosophy of enough. You stop chasing the new model and start deeply appreciating the story held within the one you already own. The Minimalist Mind, embracing the flawed self. The most powerful application of Wabi-Sabi is not to your home, but to your Gekros self. Just as we cling to the idea of a perfect vase, we desperately cling to the idea of a perfect self, one without mistakes, without emotional scars, and without doubt. This internal demand for perfection fuels self-criticism and intense anxiety. The Wabi-Sabi mindset invites us to accept our flawed self as the most beautiful, authentic version of who we are. Your mental cracks, your past mistakes, your moments of uncertainty, these are not flaws to be hidden. They are your Kintsugi, the gold lines of your experience. If you believe in anatta, non-self, you understand that you are not a fixed statue. You are a dynamic composition of experiences. The moment you embrace Wabi-Sabi, you realize that your authenticity is far more valuable than your manufactured perfection. A person who is genuinely struggling and openly learning is infinitely more beautiful than a person projecting an unachievable ideal. This philosophy is the direct antidote to the comparison trap of the modern age. When you look at others, instead of searching for their unattainable perfection, you begin to appreciate their inherent wabi, their humble, unique essence. You realize that their struggle, like yours, is part of their character. To practice Wabi-Sabi inwardly is to shed the demanding title of the best version and simply embrace the real version. It means releasing the heavy burden of what I should have done or what I must become. Your history, your scars, and your current state of being are not placeholders until perfection arrives. They are the finished work of art, ever-changing, deeply unique, and perfectly imperfect. This is the ultimate freedom in self-acceptance. The art of Kintsugi, valuing the scarred object. Perhaps the most famous and beautiful expression of Wabi-Sabi is the art of Kintsugi, literally meaning golden joinery. When a cherished piece of pottery breaks, the Japanese craftsman does not discard it, nor does he hide the damage. Instead, the object is painstakingly repaired, using lacquer dusted or mixed with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. The core principle of Kintsugi is revolutionary. The object is more beautiful, more valuable, and has a richer story because it was broken. The scars are not a point of shame, but a point of illumination. This philosophy offers profound wisdom for our relationship with the material world and with our own resilience. In our consumer society, when an object is cracked or shows wear, our immediate response is disposal and replacement. This fuels the cycle of anxiety and unsustainable consumption. Kintsugi teaches us that every scratch, every chip, and every faded spot is the object's history, and that history is precious. When you bring this mindset into your home, you shift from a mentality of unreplacement to a mentality of restoration and gotta respect. You stop chasing the latest trend and start cultivating deep relationships with the objects you already possess. You see the dent on your favorite wooden desk not as a flaw, but as a reminder of the time your child was learning to walk. This practice is the true path to sustainable minimalism. The anxiety of always needing new dissolves when you recognize the inherent dignity and beauty in the old. You begin to see your own scars and struggles, the moments when you felt broken, not as failures, but as the golden lines that give your character depth and brilliance. Kintsugi is a powerful reminder that healing is not about returning to the original state. Healing is about integrating the breakage into a stronger, more beautiful, and far more honest form. Never hide your scars. Illuminate them. They are where the gold shines brightest. Asymmetry and Nature, the unfinished design. Wabi-Sabi finds its ultimate teacher in nature. If you look at a tree, a stone, or a mountain range, you will notice one constant: asymmetry. Nothing in the natural world is mathematically perfect or perfectly symmetrical. A leaf is never an exact mirror image of itself. This asymmetry, this slight imperfection, is what makes nature feel vibrant, alive, and soothing to the human spirit. In contrast, our modern, manufactured world strives for machine-like symmetry and uniform perfection. Our anxiety grows when we try to force this symmetry onto our inherently asymmetrical lives. Wabi-Sabi invites us to incorporate this natural asymmetry into our lives and spaces. It means choosing raw, humble materials that reflect the passage of time, like unglazed clay, rough-hewn wood, and hand-woven textiles. These materials age with grace. They absorb the story of the home and are never frozen in a perfect state. It also means embracing the concept of the minimalist, unfinished design. In a traditional Zen garden or Wabi-Sabi room, there is always a feeling that the space is not quite complete. There is room for the future, room for the unexpected. This intentional incompleteness is a spiritual safeguard against the anxiety of fixedness. It allows the space to breathe and to welcome change. When you choose asymmetry, you are choosing Tao over control. You are aligning yourself with the effortless way the universe creates beauty. You stop trying to match every chair, every cushion, or every emotion. Instead, you allow objects to coexist naturally, finding a quiet harmony in their differences. This radical acceptance of organic, living in balance is the quickest path to a home and a mind that feels truly simple and deeply peaceful. Sabi, the patina of time and graceful aging. Let us look deeper into Sabi, the beauty of time. Sabi is often translated as the patina of time, the rich, complex surface that develops on an object through long use. It is the discoloration on antique wood from countless touches, the softening of leather, the way sunlight fades a favorite curtain. Sabi teaches us to transform our fear of aging into reverence for experience. In a culture obsessed with eternal youth and constant newness, Sabi is a radical act of spiritual maturity. It honors the wisdom that comes from duration and process. Think about your own life, your wrinkles, your gray hairs, and your accumulated knowledge are your Sabi. They are not marks of decay to be hidden. They are the elegant map of your journey. When you apply the Sabi mindset to yourself, you stop fighting the aging process and start appreciating the unique, deep character that only time can bestow. This mindset also transforms your relationship with your belongings. Instead of seeing an old object as obsolete, you see it as a cherished mentor. The old wooden floor that creaks tells a story that the polished marble floor cannot. The faded colors of an old book jacket carry the history of its readers. Sabi is about acknowledging the profound impermanence of life and finding beauty within that flow. By honoring the past embedded in the present, we release the anxiety of the future. We realize that aging is not a loss of value, but a transformation of value from the pristine newness of the beginning to the deep, nuanced complexity of duration. To live a Sabi life is to live a life with deep gratitude for every single moment that has passed. The daily audit, finding 5 imperfections to celebrate. To integrate the Wabi-Sabi philosophy into your daily routine, you need practical exercises that rewire your mind to appreciate imperfection instead of judging it. This is not about passive acceptance, it is an active practice of celebration. The first technique is the Mean 5 Flaws audit. At the end of each day, instead of mentally running through your failures or dwelling on things that went wrong, intentionally write down 5 things you encountered that were imperfect, flawed, or incomplete, and then briefly write down why that imperfection made the thing more real or beautiful. For example, instead of writing, "I made a spelling mistake in the email," you write, "The small spelling error in the email was a reminder that I am human, not a machine, and that authenticity is more important than flawless communication." Or, "The tiny chip on the rim of my coffee mug tells the story of how much I cherish and use this mug. It has a history that a new one lacks." This practice retrains your mind to seek out and celebrate the beauty in things that are generally deemed wrong or bad. The second powerful practice is the slowness of doing. Wabi-Sabi cannot be rushed. It demands attention. Choose one mundane daily activity. perhaps making your morning tea or tidying a small section of a room. Perform this task with intentional slowness. Crucially, release the need for a perfect outcome. When you wash a dish, don't worry about every tiny spot being pristine. Focus only on the sensation of the warm water and the quiet movement of your hands. The goal is not a perfectly clean dish, but a perfectly present moment. This intentional slowness and release of outcome allows you to stop using your actions as a tool for achieving an external, fixed standard, and instead use your actions as a tool for being fully present. By practicing Wabi-Sabi in these small, daily acts, you are dissolving the root of perfectionism, which is the desperate fear of not being good enough. Your flaws are your story. Learn to illuminate them. Final echoes, the peace of enough. We have completed our journey into the quiet, revolutionary world of Wabi-Sabi. You have learned that the highest form of beauty is not found in the pristine, the fixed, or the perfect, but in the subtle, the temporary, and the beautifully worn. Wabi-Sabi is the ultimate philosophy of enough. When you embrace it, you release the anxiety of chasing endless improvement and endless acquisition. You realize that your current self, your current home, and your current life are not projects awaiting completion. They are the masterpiece unfolding right now. This acceptance leads to a profound sense of peace. You cease to be a critic of your life and become a grateful admirer of its unique, transient beauty. This simple shift is what allows you to truly simplify, to practice deep mindfulness, and to align with the natural, effortless flow of the universe. As you move forward, look for the beauty in the ordinary, the crack in the pavement, the shadow of a tree branch, the quiet wisdom in a worn surface. Let these simple imperfections remind you of the profound truth that you, too, are perfectly imperfect. Thank you for joining us on Echoes of Life. If this message of finding beauty in the flaws resonated with your soul, and if you are ready to continue shedding the heavy burden of modern anxiety, subscribe to our channel and join a community dedicated to exploring the ancient secrets of simplicity and peace. Like this video to help the algorithm share the gentle wisdom of Wabi-Sabi with others who are exhausted by the pursuit of perfection. And finally, share this with anyone who needs a quiet reminder that they are already wonderfully enough. Until our next journey into the deep wisdom of the East, may you find peace in the flow and beauty in the broken.